Hola, cage fighting connoisseurs. This is Kid Native UFC of blah 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 bloodyelbow.com, joined once again by the inevitable, the ineffable, the ineluctable Eugene S. Robinson, author of
Oh
Thin Black Dude.
man.
Hey, you don't want to hype the old book? You want to hype the new album?
No, I like the new album. You just paused like you didn't know the name.
I knew. Well, I always want to say thick black dude because you are not thin. I'm sorry.
Hey,
David
the
Bowie
record is not named for me. I've always been mystified about artists who put their fucking faces on the cover of their records, you know?
If you're gonna reference a David Bowie album, I mean, his album was about him, or the name Thin White Duke was him. He never named an album that. But anyway, enough lecturing on rock and roll history. We are here for the Care Don't Care preview. Bellator Fedor versus Mitrione. I think it's Bellator 181, 180, and UFC Fight Night on Sunday. Chiesa versus Lee, which is UFC Fight Night 112, aka UFC Oklahoma City. OKC, baby. OKC.
Okay. Okay.
Now we need a disclaimer, Eugene.
Crybabies, bedwetters, greedy bread gobblers, work-shy individuals, malingerers. I said work-shy individuals. This has less to do with your skills and talents as a fighter or human being and much more to do with the marketing heft and weight that the overlords at WME, AIMG put behind you.
And Viacom.
And Viacom. Yeah, right. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Well,
Hey.
I'm sorry. I got, yeah, back up. Not yeah. Well, I guess it's for both shows.
Yeah.
Like I said, WME, IMG, Viacom have put behind you. You want to move from the don't care to the care list, fight an exciting fight. It can be done. Until then, don't come crying to us, crybabies and bedwetters.
Well said. I'm still tweeting out the tweet about the show. Got to put UFC OKC, and that is the hashtag. Hashtag UFC OKC. I'm feeling some Oklahoma City Thunder. How about you, Eugene? Huh?
You know, though I initially am the one who floated the idea of MMARP, you know, it was like I don't know, it was like the monkey's paw. You know that story?
Yeah. Is that the one where Davy Jones comes out of retirement and fights a heavyweight and is beaten down? No, that was Horshack from Welcome Back, Kotter fighting Screech from Saved by the Bell.
That's right.
I don't know. I'm blanking.
No, monkey's paw is where a sailor has this talisman that's a monkey paw, right?
Three wishes.
The three wishes. So, you know, it said and the son gets killed in a factory accident. And they go, I wish he was back, and then he comes back. But I wish he comes back the way he was. So he comes back the way he was after he got chewed up by the machinery, not the way he was prior to. You know, MMARP, man, wouldn't it be nice to have a Legends series, a Legacy series? And then I realized that if I'm on an airplane and the pilot is 85 years old, I'm a little nervous. If I go to a restaurant and my chef is 85 years old, I'm a little nervous. If my cab driver, Uber driver is 85 years old, I'm a little nervous. This is not ageism. This is a real assessment of their continued abilities to get the job done. Now, I'm sure plenty of 85-year-old people can get in their cars and get to the supermarket and get back home safely, but I also know what the insurance companies say, you know, and if we could be there each time one of those wrecks happen, we would be disappointed. And I can't help shake the feeling that if you weren't left with a bad taste with Chael Sonnen, Tito Ortiz, then nothing will leave a bad taste in your mouth. You know, you know, I don't know, man. I don't know.
It's been time. I've brushed my teeth since the Chael Tito fight, and I've forgotten all about it. I mean, my mouth is fresh. I'm minty. I'm ready to see Chael versus Wanderlei. I think I
think it's a solid attitude, and I applaud your attitude. But you know,
it's a new day, Eugene. A new day.
It's guys like you who are like, last time I went into that bear cave, there was a bear in the bear cave. I wonder if there'll be a bear in the bear cave this time I go into the bear cave.
Well, this time I've got my bear claw back scratcher, so I'm prepared. Look at that. It's no thumbs, all claws, baby.
You haven't arrived. You haven't gotten to that pro level shit until you start walking around town with that. You got to leave the house with that.
I'm going to be pointing it at people. Excuse me, sir. Yeah,
scepter, like a
I
scepter.
rammed up my ass. Yeah.
You remember when you were King Nate? You had moved on from kid to King Nate.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the.
Yeah, they changed my meds, and that all, it all worked out. But let's dive right in.
Okay.
Bellator 180. We're not going to mess with the preliminary card because there's one fight on the prelims.
No. I mean, we should, because nothing I like better than hearing us say "don't fuck care."
Okay, all right. So Bellator 180 preliminary card that appears at Bellator.com. 5 fights. I don't know what time it starts. Early. Lightweight, Bradley Desir and Nate Greb.
Don't care.
Doesn't the Greb sound like a Dungeons and Dragons monster? Huh?
Abu
Greb. Of course.
You know what Abu means in Arabic, don't you?
I don't.
Father.
It doesn't mean watch your family raped by dogs?
Well, no. But the reason I know that is because my Egyptian friends taught me how to say Abu.
I take it that's an insult aimed at.
They told me it means fuck your father and his religion, but I suspect it really means fuck your father, which is an interesting derivation from Western curses, which usually cohere to the mother. Motherfucker, go fuck your mother,
Yeah. Well, we won't go into any insensitive cultural generalities, but believe me, they're on the tip of my tongue. Okay, catchweight, 130 pounds, Matt Rizzo, Sergio de Silva.
Don't care.
Catchweight, 168 pounds, John Salgado versus Hugh McKenna.
Don't care.
I've heard of some of these people. I don't care. Lightweight, Jerome Mickle versus Anthony Giacchina.
Don't care.
Now, here's the money one. Welterweight, Haim Ghazali versus Ryan Couture. Ryan, I can't believe he's still fighting Couture.
Care.
You care. He's age 34. He's on a 2-fight losing streak. He's 10-5 overall.
Hold on. You talk about Ryan?
I'm talking about Ryan. And
you know, fuck about Ryan.
Is it Haim that you like?
Man, Haim.
All right, of course. One Zionist's got to support another. So
he's a friend of mine, actually.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. So you know who's Ryan's only victory recently is against? He choked out Dakota Cochran. You know why Dakota Cochran's somewhat known?
Why?
He was the kid.
Got one arm?
He was the kid. No, he was the kid on that guy can fight. Dakota was the kid that was on the Ultimate Fighter and also starred in gay porn. But don't worry, he was only gay to play. He wasn't, he was faking it.
Hey, what are you, some kind of homophobe?
No, I'm not a homophobe. That's what he said. So, and I think that's the thrill for the audience. I won't plug the pornographer, but that's the whole point,
Hey, man, if you're not going home watching gay porn, I think that makes you a fucking homophobe.
Oh, you think so? Have you heard the argument? Stephen Merritt of the Magnetic Fields, the musician?
Yeah.
There's like 2 pundits whose whole thing is this guy doesn't like enough black music. Like, they're like, this is a guy whose songwriting's based on like Cole Porter and real old school Broadway classic style songwriting. And people are griefing him because he's not like listening to Jay-Z or something. It's like,
is nothing sacred? I think next they're going to start in a Michael Bublé.
Who's Michael Bublé?
Oh, don't act like you don't know who Michael
I don't know Michael Bublé. What's Michael Bublé?
Really?
The only Bublé I know is the frozen pizza crusts.
B-U-B-L-E. You got to know the enemy, man. Come on.
B-U-B-L-E. He's my enemy?
He's like a pretty boy,
Oh, Michael Bublé. I've seen his face.
A cross between like Fabio and Harry Connick Jr.
Canadian singer, songwriter, actor, and record producer.
Tried to fist fight with me.
He tried to fist fight you. How'd that go over for him?
Who's this cat? I can't even remember his name. Harry Connick Jr. True.
Oh, he tried to fist.
Yeah, he's got a temper problem, and I was goading him, fucking around with him. If you have an opportunity to meet a celebrity, you can zig or you can zag, and about half the time, I fucking zag.
What does that even mean?
It means, if it's somebody you really like, I'm okay saying that I really like you, but these guys are cold weather types, man. You never know, So I might, what's that old expression? Will I turn you on or will I turn on you? I liked Harry Connick Jr. before I met him, and the guy got a little chippy with me, I had to start ridiculing him.
I see, everybody I've ever met that I admired, I ended up pretty much hating. I mean, Kinky Friedman, the guy who ran the Jesse Ventura campaign for governor, Bill Hillsman, hate that guy. Anyway, so
this D-man says Bublé, not Bublé.
Bublé.
He says born Bublé, pronounced Buble. You know
All right.
what? I
Text
wait.
me when he's doing gay porn, okay?
Can I go back in time and text you? Also, I said the D man said something pretty perceptive last night. He goes, McGregor and De La Hoya. Yeah, I might pay for that.
Now that I would pay.
Yeah, you see, so some of us are trying to come up with a match. I might pay as a second. Yeah.
McGregor and Danny Bonaducci, I'd pay to see that too. So whatever.
Yeah.
Hey, McGregor and Screech from Saved by the Bell. Did you see the beating Screech put on Horseshack? I mean,
yeah. I liked Horseshack.
That was sad, man. Did you see that?
Yeah,
do you remember that?
None of that. Do you remember the SCTV thing where they had Mr. Rogers against Julia Child?
Yes. And then it came to life, and the boxing, and the shriek, the whole celebrity boxing matches. All right. Now we're to the Spike TV card. 4 fights. Women's.
Did you? I picked Haim.
I'm picking Ryan Couture, baby.
Okay. Yes.
All right.
Hardy, but okay.
All right. I'm just being contrary there. So don't bring it back at me again. Fortune telling is a sin and sorcery. They'll cut your head off for it in Saudi Arabia.
Am I the kind of guy to lord a bad pick over?
Yes, you are. You're a petty little man. We discussed this last night. All right, women's flyweight, Heather Hardy versus Alice Yauger.
Don't care.
Me neither. Sorry, ladies. Welterweight, Neiman Gracie versus Dave Marfone. We've got a new Gracie.
Don't give a shit.
Now, I've been burned by that one too many times. Featherweight, James Gallagher versus Chinzo Machida.
Nope. Sorry, I don't care.
The older and smaller brother of Lyoto.
Yeah,
Karate.
No, sorry, don't care.
I care, and I'm picking Chinzo.
Okay, let me write
Now, here's the money match. Light heavyweight, Phil Davis, champion, versus Ryan Bader.
Yes, care.
I care too, and I don't. I guess they want to have a headliner for the Spike TV portion of the card, but to me, this is pay-per-view.
It is pay-per-view, kind of, but man, you know what? That's a definition of dark starred, really, because you mentioned Ryan Bader, and I suddenly go, oh shit, that's right, he left.
Oh yeah, he did leave, and so did Phil Davis. Bader left a few months ago. Phil Davis left a year or so.
No, I remember when Phil Davis left, but Ryan Bader just slipped as like, whoa.
So if you have a pick, we've got two guys who can wrestle. I don't even think Phil Davis has a great MMA wrestling style. I think
you know what? I'm gonna have to go with a friend of Knuckle Up here, and that would be Mr. Bader.
Mr. Bader, huh? I see. Some people will call you.
Even though I secretly believe that Phil Davis will win, I'm going to go with the friend of Knuckle Up.
I see. I was going to accuse you of being a race trader, but now I'm going to accuse you of reverse racism, or now secret straight racism.
Yeah,
racism.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
well, hey, the
white guy thinks you're his friend, and then when he gets in a fight with the black guy, he finds out. We've all played that game. We've all had a homie like that.
What do you mean, we all?
Us.
Yeah.
Come on, you've been through it on the other side. Come on, would you go into a fight with a white guy, with a black guy, with a white guy backing you up?
I tell you, I got into a fight with the captain of the wrestling team in high school, Jesse Rubens, who happened to be Jewish. And he attacked me, so I took him down. His arm was
the captain of the wrestling team down.
Yeah, his arm was in a cast, so this was easy to do. But he was beating me with the cast, so I shucked it and got by, took him down, and was choking him. And some guy, Adam.
Did you know how to do a choke, or were you doing like a?
I was old style. I was fucking I didn't know how to do the choke. I was doing the bulldog choke. And Adam Davis, who's a Facebook friend now, pulled me off of him. He was also on the wrestling team, and he held me for just a little too long.
That's how we do.
And I said, Adam was Jewish as well.
Yeah. See, I'm not even gonna touch that one. I'm not even gonna touch that. This was just because of their whiteness.
Well, you're claiming them as white. There are many in your neighborhood who would not claim them as white.
Well, it depends. I mean, it's all like
yeah.
The thing with racism is it's pretty arbitrary. People are just looking for a fight and a reason to divide ourselves into groups and get it on. And so, if there's big differences, then you'll fight with the people that are most different. But it's actually the people that are just a little bit different than you that you fight with, like the Croats and the Serbs. You know,
right, which is why civil wars are so terribly fucking bloody, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
And then
Can't wait for the next one.
after what I said to Adam, I was like, "Hey, bro, you held me a little too long there at the end." And he just kind of looked at me, and goes, "Hey, you know how it works." I was like, "I certainly do," you know. So
Yeah, yeah. It's an ugly world, but anyway, enough.
no, you're not making a pick, or what's happening?
No, I'm going to make a pick. I'm back. That's what I was just saying. I said enough of trying to solve the world's problems, and I said, I mean, enough trying to pour salt on the wounds of the world's problems. I say, I mean, this is an interesting fight because Bader's probably the better puncher, I think. Phil Davis has notorious pillow punches. I think Phil Davis is definitely the better submission grappler. I think it all comes down to if Bader has the better takedown defense.
Oh boy, this guy is hemming and hawing. Are you gonna make a pick?
I'm thinking. Come on, respect my analysis here. I'm showing my work, Eugene.
Yeah,
if I just leap ahead to my brilliant conclusion, the fans are going to be baffled because they don't have the years of MMA analysis experience I do. Okay, so I'd say if Bader is smart enough to keep the fight on his feet, he can win. But is Bader smart enough to do that? And can he I think he can fend off Davis's takedowns. Davis had one of those styles that worked well in the NCAA for points, but wasn't necessarily a takedown-driven style. You know what I mean?
Okay.
All right. So I say Davis because, yeah.
Okay. All right, good. We got some action.
Yep.
I'm writing it down.
Yep. So, I mean, you know, sorry, white race. I wanted to, since Eugene's being a secret crypto racist over here.
I always like that crypto.
Isn't that nice?
Yeah, I'm down with crypto. Anything crypto, and I'm pretty happy with it.
You know, I worked for a guy who it turns out was a crypto Jew. His family had settled in Laredo, Texas, 600 years ago or whatever, 400 years ago. And the only reason Spaniards settled in Laredo, which was literally as far as you could get away from Madrid and still be in the Spanish Empire, was because they were crypto Jews. So anyway,
you know, my bass player is Jewish, and his parents, his mother was of the age where she lost some people in the Holocaust, and she back in America had this moment where she was like, you know what, I'm done with the whole Jew thing, absolutely positively done with it, and just as an act of will decided to not be Jewish anymore and married a guy who was not Jewish. My bass player's father didn't raise the kids in the faith, no Jewish identity, and they're effectively just not Jewish, which is interesting if you're any other kind of minority, because I don't know too many Chinese guys that could say not Chinese, and they have whole industries to help gay guys not be gay, right? There's Christian conversion, Christian conversion thing, but they just, and it made me feel fucking sad, you know.
It is sad, and it wouldn't have worked in Hitler's Germany because they went after people like that, regardless of how they had disavowed their identity or not.
Yeah, you had to have the weight of history had to be on your side, you know.
Oh well. Anyway, back to the fights. Now we're to the pay-per-view card. Lightweight, Aaron Pico versus Zach Freeman. I
don't give a shit.
I don't either, guys. And this might be the barn burner. Pico's got some wrestling creds, but I don't think you want to start out with some lay and pray for the pay-per-view opener. Barn burner for the pay-per-view opener. Coker, have you learned nothing? All right. Now welterweight, Douglas Lima, the champ, versus Lorenz Larkin.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, okay, I care.
You care because of Larkin?
Yeah, because I want to be at least attempt to be as open-minded with Bellator as I am with the UFC. And the reality of it is,
It's a charity kick.
I'm not that super excited about it, but you and I both know that if it was on the UFC card, we would both give it a begrudging care. So I'm going to try to be consistent and give it a begrudging care.
Yeah. And Lima's actually pretty tough. I mean, he decisioned Paul Daly, and I think he'll do the same to Lorenz Larkin. So gicked as he is, gicked as he were, I'm not picking Larkin. I'd like to, but I'm not. Can't stop, won't stop. So I'm picking Lima. Yep, and this is where we've already got one title fight on the prelim card. Now we've got another title fight, and now a third title fight, lightweight Michael Chandler versus Brent
Hey,
Primus.
you froze there, but
Michael Chandler.
You said the title fight, and then I heard Primus.
Okay. Did you lose the whole title fight rant? Because there's 3 title fights on the card.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So risk of things going long. We've got a title fight at the end of the Spike card, then a title fight, second fight of the pay-per-view, and third fight on the pay-per-view. So all of those could potentially go 5 rounds. So we got Michael Chandler, who's great, and we've seen him in some great fights with Eddie Alvarez et al. And Brent Primus or Primus, I don't know.
They're fighting each other?
Yep, they're fighting each other. Primus is 7-0, undefeated, but his last 2 wins were split decisions. I got to go with Chandler.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Chandler in that too. And we care, I'm guessing. So.
Yeah, and he's got a 4-fight win streak, and he just edged out Benson Henderson. So, and
I want to be there when they have that uncomfortable moment where he happens to be in the same elevator in the same region as Travis Brown.
Because why?
Didn't he do that dance, the Rousey?
You're right. You're right.
Oh no, I'm thinking Michael Venom Page. Sorry.
No. Chandler's like a hardworking
the Rousey
grindstone. Yeah,
the Rousey. And then we find out his father's a sex offender. Man, the joke's on you, bud.
Hey,
allegedly.
He's not responsible for the doings of his father. So
yeah.
Although his father is kind of active in his career. All right. Now we come to the co-main event. I can't believe it's the co-main. Fedor Emelianenko versus Matt Mitrione.
I want to punish these guys for the last thing, but I can't do it. So realistically speaking, if you're a fan of this sport, you give a shit about this. And I'm going to make a wholly predictable pick. But if I'm going to tell you that I feel good about it, I'd be fucking lying. And my wholly predictable pick is going to be Fedor. But I just don't feel good about it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very worried. I don't want to see Meathead put a beating on Fedor. I mean, that's
a bad place to be for somebody who's supposed to be getting big money in combat sports. We're actually afraid that Fedor's going to get fucking hurt. Okay, I guess you shouldn't be limited by the tyranny of our expectations, but bro, we're worried about you against Matt Mitrione. What the fuck does that say? That says that we haven't seen enough to feel more confident about your prospects in this fight.
Yep. And it's well, these are dark days, as they say, Monty Python.
So okay, I picked Fedor. Who are you picking?
You're picking Fedor. Old man, Father Time has moved on. On. I'm picking Matt Mitrione, who's hardly the future, but he hits really hard and he's got a good chin. And
he's long and rangy, so but I still got to pick. Yep. I got an old man thing. Last time I met Fedor, he was nice to me when his Strike Force days. So what can I say?
Fedor, by all accounts, a nice guy.
Yeah, well, you know.
I mean, that's how he's go. I think he might be here though to steal elections from Democrats, Eugene. Is he a Putin dupe? All right. I heard he was in Georgia last night. We don't know why.
Actually, they are connected through the Red Devil fight team, Red Devil sports team, with the same guys who brought me over to St. Petersburg to do color commentary for old World Valley Tudo Championship fight, which was scary as fuck.
That sounds like.
I wonder if Goldberg has to deal with this shit. I mean, clearly, yeah. Oh, man. My first interview was a heavyweight guy who comes out of the cage, and he's got a swastika tattoo as large on his chest as his chest.
Wow, but you have one too. I mean, did you show him yours?
Mine is a headpiece for a demon. His was Sans Demon.
I see. So his was non-ironic.
Mine is not ironic either. It's a symbol of evil.
I see. But why are you wearing that on your skin? Why do you want to manifest evil on your skin, Eugene?
The whole body, because I was into Manichaeism.
I'm going to send you I'm going to call some
Manichaeism. Good versus evil.
Yes, the dualism. I'm going to have some friends send you the Book of Mormon, Eugene. They'll tell you those tattoos are a sin. So I think we can still.
And pierced ears, too. Pins the body to the soul. Book of Leviticus.
A few months of applying sandpaper to your skin, and we can get past this, Eugene, and you too.
And brine.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. It'll be great. All right. We could probably put it on the internet and make money off of it. All right. So you're picking Fedor. Sad. All right. Now we've got light heavyweight Chael Sonnen versus Wanderlei Silva.
Yeah, we care.
Of course we care. I mean,
this is weird, man. This is like just. Do you feel clean?
I never feel clean, Eugene. I've got a systemic white liberal guilt that just makes me feel awful all the time.
I can't trust Chael, man.
Can you trust Wandy? Old Wandy?
Yeah,
Plastic surgery face Wandy?
I think I could trust him a little bit more than I trusted Chael. I mean, I know Chael had to stay relevant. He has to win this fight, but it's just every time he stepped in the cage in recent memory, strange things have started to happen. So I'm gonna pick Silva, man. And I think that's a smart fucking pick.
Of course you do. Of course you do, Eugene. You think you went to Stanford? I mean, come on, come on. Let's see. I'm thinking about this. Chael has not looked impressive at all recently. And he's second place Sonnen. But he likes an upset, and he really hates Wandy. But I think he's just bullshitting about hating him, you know?
I agree.
And I think Wandy...
Which I was saying, the gift. I can't trust anything out of this guy's mouth. He's like what we were talking about last night on If I Did It, you know, that there, Mayweather and McGee's, they're one side of the same coin. They're in, this is, you hear that expression, in cahoots? They're in cahoots. And you say, well, you say conspiracy? I'm not saying conspiracy, but I say they're on the same side of the coin. You know who's on the other side? Us. And fucking Chael is that guy, you know? P.T. Barnum, baby.
I know. I mean, I would say, would you buy a house from this guy? But you can't because he lost his real estate license because he's a convicted felon. I mean, you know, it's but Wandy don't play that. Wandy's very straightforward. He's got a beef with basically everybody. I mean, remember the old, great, glorious Wandy that was fighting people in the dressing rooms at Pride and just roided to the gills, and God knows what else he was mixing with his roids. I mean, and now he's got that plastic surgery face, and we've learned that he's actually kind of a nice guy with the family and stuff, but he's still pissed off.
Yeah, I like that.
But his fighting style plays right into Chael's hands because Wandy was always vulnerable against wrestlers. Remember what Tito did to Wandy?
Yeah. Okay, so you're going to make a pick?
I'm picking Chael. MAGA, baby. MAGA. That's right. I'm coming out as a Republican.
Yeah, you've lost your mind there. Okay. All right. All right. So
it's a principal political choice.
Yeah, I got it.
I believe in small government and low taxes, Eugene. It's a principal position. Yeah. All right. So that's Saturday, and it's going to cost you. How much would you pay for that pay-per-view? I mean,
$25.
I think it's 25. I think it's 20.
Oh, really? Okay. Tough
maybe
guy.
30 because of the Chandler fight.
No.
But I think they ought to pay me because I'm going to be sad at the end of it. If I see Fedor get humiliated or Wandy get humiliated, it's just going to be sad, you know?
Yeah. You know, something needs to come like a rain, clean all the filth off the streets.
That's right, Travis Bickle. You tell him.
Something's going to have to happen, man. I mean,
how many hours a day are you spending in the mirror saying, are you talking to me these days? Like, are you down into the single digits again, or is it?
Yeah, no, I'm all over that. And not only that, I'm doing it in the rear view mirror of the car too.
Ooh, yeah, that could cause a wreck, Eugene. That's I
don't see anybody else here. Don't see anybody else. No, I mean, I mean, something has to happen, man. Something has to happen and I think Alexi was saying last night, and if I did it, or somebody, maybe you, was talking about the kind of the blotting out the sky effect of the Mayweather-McGregor fight. Something has to happen to right the ship. I felt like we spent the first half of 2017 stumbling, and we had a good patch there where I was suffering from irrational exuberance. And then we were back down, and I realized there's nobody driving this fucking car. We're all just sitting in the back seat, hoping that it's going to coast to a comfortable stop. And I don't think that's a reasonable hope at this point.
No, I think crash is,
yeah,
where it's headed. I saw a documentary about this woman who was on a family outing, and somehow all the kids ended up in her car, and then she went off and went on this crazy driving all over the freeway before she crashed and killed them all. And it was revealed she had guzzled a whole fifth of vodka, and smoked all this pot, and nobody knew. She was like a complete secret drunk, and it was really sad.
That's actually not even funny, man.
No, it was tragic, and it's like that situation. Can you imagine being one of the kids in the car, like Aunt Margie, like?
Yeah. Well, my kids had the piano teacher who Ruby is taking a lesson. I hear her say, "Dad." I go, "Fuck, what the fuck?" And I go, and the teacher is slumped over the piano. I say, "Karen." She says, "Oh, yeah. Oh, I've got fibromyalgia, and I have to take medication. It makes me drowsy. You have to go now, Karen.
Yeah.
Fuck out of this house, you know."
No junkies nodding off in front of the kids.
Yeah, come on.
That's how I feel we as MMA fans are. We're the kids strapped to the back of the car just waiting for Dana to just drive this thing into an 18-wheeler. So now we've got the Sunday night UFC offering, going to be on Fox Sports 2 and Fox Sports 1. It's the whole trifecta, Fight Pass, Fox Sports 2, and Fox Sports 1. So first off, and this is Sunday night in the OKC. Eugene, you've partied in the OKC, right?
I have. And it was noteworthy because guy pulled up in a Carmen Ghia or maybe a Volkswagen station wagon playing Nazi Hitler speeches and Nazi march tunes, gets out looking like he's in that band Deaf Heaven and marches into the Crystal Pistol to buy his ticket for the Whipping Boy show.
You must have really felt welcome.
Yeah, I did actually. I was like,
OKC, welcome.
I was like, all right, and then I was there on the book tour as well. So
the Crystal Pistols, a lot of Joan Jett played there. U2 played there.
It's a fucking hole, a hole.
Yeah, and it's
a hole.
I believe it's long gone as well. All right, so we've got they're not having the UFC fights there. 3 fights on Fight Pass. Light heavyweight Josh Stansbury versus Jeremy Kimball.
Don't care.
Lightweight Tony Martin versus Johnny Case.
Almost care because of Tony Martin, but not enough. Don't care.
No, me neither. Featherweight Jared Gordon versus Michael Quinones.
Don't care.
Me neither. Sorry, guys. Now we're on Fox Sports 2. Lightweight.
And I know some of those commenters out there. How could you sleep? I couldn't know this. Yeah, you guys, you don't know anything about the sport. Yeah, well, whatever.
Yeah, exactly. All right, now lightweight Devin Powell versus Daryl Horcher.
Don't care.
Women's strawweight Carla Esparza versus Marna Moros.
Almost care because of Esparza, but the fact that you can't pronounce an opponent's name puts it in the don't care zone.
That could be a title fight, man. I mean,
yo, bro. You
don't
watch.
Call me bro.
That's what I said. As we'll be fighting, you call me bro, but I've relented on this.
I see. I once punched a kid out in high school on the bus, and the bus driver dragged me off of him, and he called me, what? He looked at me and he goes, why'd you do that, buddy? And he was like, apparently forgetting it. It just called me a motherfucker and pushed me in the back. And then some other kid goes, don't let him call you buddy. I almost had to walk home from that.
I punched a kid, broke his nose on the bus because he yanked my scarf. I had this wonderful red and black scarf, always a fashion plate. And I must have been 10 or 11. He pulled me over and my head hit the wheel well. And I stood up and I said, you undecided about what to do. And then the clouds cleared and I saw the videotape in my head of me going, like the $6 million man, slow-mo right to his nose, and that's exactly what happened. It exploded like a water balloon of Kool-Aid. It was wonderful. I did not get into trouble at all for it.
Wow. I mean, you feel very sorry about the violence, right?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, everybody on the bus testified. Forrest attacked Eugene. Eugene was defending himself.
Wow. Well, see, I had the same thing with Comer, and nobody cared. And I had to wait for my mom to come to the Dairy Queen in Memphis, Texas, many hours later. So,
no good.
Yeah. They left a kid, I was 18, but still, they ditched me in the Dairy Queen in Memphis. I could have been eaten. Cannibals. All right. Middleweight, Victor Miranda versus Marvin Vittori.
Do not care.
Me neither. Sorry, guys. Lightweight, Eric Koch versus Clay Guida.
I care.
I know we care because we're old. I mean, but Clay Guida's hair's about to fall out, dude. Have you seen him recently?
I dare, but I'm not picking him.
No, you're picking Koch?
Yeah, his last few outings, Guida is he's lost me, so.
Yeah, Guida's got basically nothing left. And Koch is still in his prime. He's had some ups and downs, but I think he's going to pace Guida.
So you're picking Koch? When did he become Koch? How come it's not Koch? Get the fuck out of here.
It's Koch, man. It's always been Koch.
Yeah, okay.
As long as he's been in the UFC, it's been Koch.
So you're picking him?
Yeah.
All right, that's our first care on the card.
All right. So now we're on to the Fox Sports 1 card. 6 fights, main event, UFC OKC. Featherweight. Can you believe this? Featherweight Dennis Siver versus BJ Penn. BJ Penn is fucking opening the Fox Sports 1
I don't give
card.
a fuck. Based on his last fight, bro. You're lucky.
He's earned it. He's earned it. This is what Alexi doesn't understand about thinking McGregor could fight a whole string of boxers. Because how many fights has it taken for BJ Penn to go from headliner to complete non-entity? I mean, can you get a more insulting slot on the card for a UFC Hall of Famer? I mean, you cannot.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. And I think Seaver's going to paste him too.
You're picking Seaver?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I think so too. I just can't. I can't in good conscience pick him after the last thing I saw. One of us is going to look like a pro and the other look like an amateur. Come on, man.
Yeah, that was sad stuff. All right, now we've got welterweight. Tim, I'm the most dangerous guy in the division, Means versus Alex Garcia.
You know what?
You don't care.
I don't care. And I gave away my charity pick to the Bellator. I almost say because it means, but I'm not gonna fucking lie to you. I'm the last truly free voice in America. I gotta come correct. I don't care. Sorry.
And he had that 2-fight fiasco with Alex Oliveira, and no. All right, light heavyweight Joaquin Christensen and Dominic Reyes.
Do not care.
Me neither. Sorry, guys. Women's strawweight Felice Herrig, versus Justine Kish. Have you seen Felice's booty lately? Has she been keeping you apprised on Instagram of how her hindquarters are looking?
I think I defriended her on Instagram.
Yeah, it's because that's all she does.
Yeah, I have to say I don't care.
I kind of like Felice, actually. I've been watching her since way back in the day in Virginia. And
that sounds fucking creepy.
Hey, I'm sorry. I saw her first fight. I mean, I think from ringside even.
Yeah. I'm not saying that. It's not unless you saw her first fight. It's the way you said it. That's,
I see.
Yeah.
I'm a creep, man. I'm Radiohead. I'm Nirvana. I'm Beck. That's my generation, man.
I've been following her. Okay, here we go.
We don't have to apologize. We're not millennials. I'm not an ally. I'm a creep, okay?
Somebody just tweeted and said we should watch out for Alex Garcia.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm taking that under advisement. I'm going to write his name here, but I'm not fucking caring.
Not in advance. Not in advance.
But I've written his name down. Somebody to watch.
That's right. All right. Now we've got middleweight Johnny Hendricks versus Tim Boetsch. This is also sad, is it not? I mean, because Tim Boetsch is a guy who ascended to heights of mediocrity and then fell, and Johnny Hendricks is a guy who, and boy, am I seeing a lot of red on his Wikipedia page, so that means a lot of losses. And Johnny Hendricks is a guy who ascended all the way to not greatness, but very goodness, and then fell hard, coincidentally, as soon as he was forced to close his steakhouse. I mean, as soon as they instituted drug testing.
Man, listen, he, after that last fight he had, said some shit that was so hardcore fucking misty that I just had to go, oh shit, dude is like petitioning hardcore to get back in the LB. And then I thought, get back. He's never fucking left. You can't leave, my friend. One win doesn't mean that you're fucking out, especially when you come out with smack like that. So I'm going to have to say, yes, I care, but God's honest truth, I think that the Lost Battalion has a way of claiming its own, man. You know, Tim Boetsch knows exactly who Tim Boetsch is. He's not there, but Johnny is fighting hard to stay, and I think he's going to get what he wants, you know.
In what sense?
In the sense that he's losing this fight.
Oh, yeah, possibly, but Boetsch is such a wet squib at this point, man. I mean...
yeah, exactly. Which nobody's taking him seriously, but he's getting in the cage and he wants to fucking fight.
Do you remember how boring his fight with Hector Lombard was? And then Hendricks' fight with Hector Lombard was, well, it was fairly entertaining. It was much more entertaining than the Boetsch-Lombard fight, but I mean...
I'm looking forward to it either way, because at the end of it, if Hendricks wins, we should take bets on how many seconds it takes him to sit astride the cage and make the universal belt, baby, and everybody in the audience going, why is he making that kind of spastic gesticulation toward his midsection? There's no belt in your future, man. There is anus in your future. That's all you're looking at. Anus, a future of anus. No belt. Belt, anus.
I don't even want to know what that means, but we all have one, and it's not a dirty way.
like an opinion.
Yes, exactly. All right, now we come to the headliner, your mama, lightweight Michael Chiesa versus Kevin Lee. There's been some trash talk that reached heights of sophistication.
Yep.
Your mama.
Yeah, I care, and I'm picking Lee.
Oh, again with the racial pick, Eugene.
Hey, you're the one who went straight to the race, man.
I know. You're the one who picked the black guy.
Is he black? I thought he was biracial. I thought he was biracial.
Well, this is America, Eugene. One drop. I didn't make the rules.
Yeah.
I didn't make the rules.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, this is a racist country, Eugene.
Oh, yeah.
One drop.
Uh-huh.
And so, yeah. I mean, but I can't pick Casey. He's got that stupid beard. And he was born the year I graduated from high school.
Oh, stop that. I rolled with some guy today who was 19. It's really disturbing, you know.
With the energy and the bright sunny optimism.
No, the philosophical thing, like, how old is he? How old am I going to be when he's 54? Oh,
dead. Oh, and you know how you always say you're not middle-aged because you're not going to live to be 108? That's wrong, Eugene. Middle age doesn't mean where you are in your life. It means where you are in human society. You're neither young nor old. Therefore, you're middle-aged, okay?
Yeah, you know what? I was talking to some guy in training about my haircut, and I said, I just figured I'd do it like Muddy Waters or Nat King Cole. And they said, who?
I mean, come on, what's the Q rating on guys like that? Like
I said, Muddy Waters? Don't know. Okay, Nat King Cole? Nature Boy?
Nat King Cole died in 1964, Eugene.
And then I got desperate. I started going, Natalie Cole? His daughter?
Yep, in the 90s. And honestly, her music will not survive the test of time.
All right. So Sorrel starts laughing at me, right? Today, a Brazilian cat who was here last week, Darlan Cascada, he said, put some music on before we train. He put some music on, and he says, you like Brazilian music? His English is very bad. So I said, yeah, you know. I said, but I'm a fan of Bossa Nova. He looks at me and goes, I said, Sorrel, could you tell him about Bossa Nova? And so he says in Portuguese, yeah, you know, Bossa Nova. And the kid looks 19 and goes, don't know. And he starts Jobim, and he starts getting the names, and the kid was like, no fucking
What does the kid listen to in the favelas? Like black metal from Sweden or something, or what?
No, he was listening to it sounded like it sounded like Brazilian Red Hot Chili Peppers. It was terrible.
Oh, I know when you say that's synonymous with awful for you. Yeah. All right. So that's
I think it's synonymous with awful for the entire world.
Well, there are Red Hot Chili Peppers fans out there, Eugene.
I don't know them.
I unfortunately have known too many, and I saw them live back in the '80s, and they were a good live band in the '80s.
Oh, okay, just stop.
I gotta say,
stop.
Did you not like Fishbone? How about Fishbone? Did you like?
I love Fishbone. I think they got a raw deal. I thought
they got a ton of raw deals.
I think the Fishbone. I mean, and they weren't like the Bad Brains who self-sabotaged aggressively. I mean, they had the one guy in the band, the keyboard player, who was kind of nuts. But other than that,
and wrote all the songs.
Yeah, and they did everything right as far as I could see. But it was like one of those bands, like they had too much charisma. It reminds me of the difference between Jim Kelly and Chuck Norris. Sorry, man. You know, it's like.
Also, the problem was they were one of those bands that was super, incredibly, unbelievably great live, and then on record, it was just never. They could never catch that fury.
Yeah.
And that plus racism, because they got fucked hard. I mean, when every other band around was getting the full press hype, you know, the media was just looking. It was like looking at Tad. Oh, you're fat. We're not going to book you. And oh, these guys are black.
Yeah.
I mean.
Yep. No, I agree, man. I mean, if you remember when I was editor-in-chief of EQ, where
Sweetwater,
the fucking musical equipment reseller, had decided to threaten to pull all the advertising from all of the sister publications, which would have been guitar player, bass player, keyboard, and acoustic guitar, and maybe we had some drum magazine at the time, because they thought that EQ was too urban. I put on the cover in short order Will.i.am, Thievery Corporation, and Jack Joseph Puig. I had a formula. I had establishment guy, alternative pick, Young Turk. And I just repeated that formula over and over. But Will.i.am was enough for them to say it's too urban. So if you have a chance to buy some musical equipment, do not buy from Sweetwater. They're fucking pricks.
I see. Urban is one of my favorite racist code words. I got to say, it's not. Urban. It's just a word, Yep. All right. So enough with our show. It's going to be a crazy weekend of MMA. Sadly, we will both be watching all these fights. That's the.
Yeah, I got no international travel. I got another surgical procedure on Friday, but this is an office thing.
Another one? Is this because the guy in England finally caught up with you? What happened with that? Did he show?
No, he didn't show. And at first I was gonna fuck him and not put him on the guest list, like I said. And then I go, I don't want to give him any excuse at all. So I put him on the guest list. Him plus one, baby, didn't show.
Wow.
And then we have a song. We have a section of a song where it's super quiet, where the choir dropped out, the brass dropped out, the band drops out, and it's just me. And it's a prime. He's seen us well enough to know if you want to cut up, it's a prime time to cut up. And I heard nothing. So I say he's not in the house. And I had shit planned. My military MMA folks were there in the house, and they said, Eugene, you just point at him and he's done. And I was waiting there and nothing. So he didn't show up.
Man, it's sad when you lose an old friend like that, Eugene.
He's on my Facebook friend page, John A. Mitchell.
John A. Mitchell. Charming name.
Jon space AYE Mitchell.
Well, I'll be friending him. You watch it. All right. That's our show. Zane will have 2 sections for this. There you go. And then we'll have the 6 rounds both nights after the fights. And you're doing Knuckle Up when?
I guess I got to do it on Monday, right?
Do it on Monday. That would make.
But this is the 2-hour mega marathon Knuckle Up to make up for this last week, and I got a lot of shit that needs to be addressed. That hasn't been touched on
some of which, I might have to watch live, ready to shut down the stream if some of these allegations about my friend Lorenzo.
Whatever, man. Whatever you could do whatever you like. I'm just saying, I got my feet on the street, and
I'm trying to protect you, Eugene. Have you seen Casino? Okay.
I told you about that guy who I got into a fist fight with in high school, and then
How many?
Well, I only had 2, so this is one of them. And he went.
You've already told me about 2 this episode.
Well, no, I just told you about 1, and the guy pulled me off of him, and then he held.
There was the wrestler, and the guy on the bus.
That's true. That was elementary school.
That was elementary school.
But this cat, he had stabbed himself in the leg, and he was limping around the school, and I was making fun of him. I was like, "Hey, Chris," and I'm limping.
What is it you beating up disabled people?
He need me in the balls. And I got him with the bulldog choke and punched him in the face several times, and that was it. However, he didn't go to college after high school. Went into the building trades. New York City. Yeah. Huh? So by the time he shows up for the 20th reunion, I see him across the room, and he's fucking just vibing so heavily. Connected fucking dude. And my brain was like, let's go over and remind him of the most uncomfortable thing ever. Remember, Chris, when I beat you? And by the time I got over to him, I was like, how you doing, Mr. Leahy? I was like, fuck that. I bring up some shit. It's like, go get your shine box. No.
Exactly. Remember that guy Nino that was the boss of the Roy DeMeo gang, and he spent half his time trying to kill the boxer who would beat him up in a boxing match 13 years earlier? I would never, I would.
Nope.
You got to treat the men in respect with respect, a.k.a. fear.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. All right, okay, I got to go.
Adios, MMA aficionados. Follow us on Twitter @KidNate, @Eugene S. Robinson. Buy the Thin Black Duke. That's not how you give a thumbs up. You use the thumb.
This is how I do it.
Yeah. All right, and that's it. I gave all the plugs. Adios, MMA aficionados. We'll see you next time. Thank you, Eugene.
All right, man. Later. Bye.